So, a very good morning, Mr. Eros Ka with us. And today he will be speaking on nature and climate change. I warmly welcome to Mr. Ka. He's very good in water management, water treatment, wastewater treatment in a natural way. So, Mr. Eros Ka, how you see nature and climate change according to your views, what you see and how a climate activist should act now?
Well, good evening, Abdul. Just for the viewers out there, I'm in Pasadena, and Abdul is in Lahore, right? Or are you in the village?
Yeah, in Lahore.
Anyway, I'm actually not a wastewater guy. I'm a manufacturer. I make these bioreactors, uh, and we sell this to wastewater people all over the world. So we make this newfangled wastewater system that is so much cheaper and so much more affordable. And Abdul is our top contractor. Um, and so we make these systems that are based on microbes, and the unit itself will produce lots and lots of different kinds of microbes that we design into the system, and these will clean water back to drinking. Can the system, if used properly, can bring um, uh, dirty wastewater or sewage back to drinking water quality without any use of chemicals, and without any residue too that you have to throw out. So we do not produce sludge or any residue that needs to be skimmed off. Everything is just chewed out, and it's very simple. It's also low maintenance. You don't need a lot of manpower, and the units can last for decades. So, but this is new, and so our oldest system is only 12 years old, but it's still there and still working, and no very little repair and maintenance. Yes. So back to you. Yes. So what do I feel about water? I think water treatment. Well, it all started. My journey with this thing started about a couple of decades ago. Somebody kept on telling me about this thing called the water energy nexus. I said, what's an water energy nexus? It sounds like a car to me, like a car Nexus, and then oh, it's Lexus. So this water energy Nexus at that time was saying it takes a lot of water to create energy, and it takes a lot of water it takes a lot of energy to create water too. So it takes a lot of energy to treat water, and it takes a lot of energy water to generate electricity, and and uh, um, and so we this is our attempt to try to break the water energy nexus. So we just use microbes, and it takes very little energy. Abdul, you say what about we save about what 90% of the energy, 95% of the energy.
Yeah.
We don't use a lot of concrete. We basically use ponds. So you can use that on ponds or just clay liner. Just a clay liner, or so it's a clay lined pond. You don't even need any plastics on that one. And it's just cleaned up. The whole point is the operating costs. For sewage, we save at least 95% of energy. For industrial wastewater, some really heavy ones, we probably save 99% of the operating costs over a period of 20 years. So this just gigantic savings. So we make wastewater very affordable. So even in places like Africa or uh, tiny islands, it just makes it easier. Because islands, they can't have a lot of energy because you have to transport all that fuel in, and so on and so forth. So, but this makes it very, very affordable. Yeah. So
how you see that you are helping the world in a climate change?
oh, well, um, in water, we bring it back to drinking, so there should be no reason for no sanitation. So sanitation, they say, and this is according to the Global Sanitation Fund, that that's the greatest that is the greatest having sanitation will increase 1 to 7% per annum of your GDP per capita in a country. So you can see that in certain test cases. Singapore had nothing, tiny speck of nothing, and in 1965, and they early on decided to do sanitation, and early on they started booming. And so in 1982, 83, when China, under their great leader Deng Xiaoping, uh, wanted to industrialize China, he consulted Lee Kuan Yew, and Lee Kuan Yew said sanitation. And so if you think about it, that's the missing infrastructure. That's the missing, because why? Lots of people are willing to pay for roads. Lots of people are willing to do bridges, invest in bridges for tolls. Lots of government want to do that too. Water, people are willing to pay for water, so there's easy to invest. Electricity, everybody wants to invest in electricity. Cell phones, wow, cell phones, people like to invest in that too. Sanitation, well, it's easy to build a sanitation plant. Where they get you is the operating cost. So it may cost like $1 for building the infrastructure, which is very expensive. This is an expensive dollar. It costs so much more for a wastewater plant than a water plant. It just the infrastructure is much more expensive, and nobody wants to pay for it. And worse, it may cost up to 3 times or 4 times the infrastructure cost in the daily operating cost. So we eliminated all the operating costs, and we made the infrastructure cost much cheaper. Well, outside of the collecting system, which is these sewer pipes, we can build very inexpensive yet high quality wastewater so that you can recycle your water. You can our lowest grade water is something that fish would live in these waters. So you will have ammonia eliminated, all the hard stuff eliminated, phenols eliminated, so on and so forth. And all at very affordable cost. Yes.
So it's a really a very useful thing that how the bird is proceeding, that with very low energy, there is no use of any chemical, and it's a water super clean. And even if we get an FAO standards, we can use in irrigation and agriculture. It does not need to carry fertilizer with it. Then so
and then also, there is no sludge, so you have no haul away cost. You're not hauling away toxins. So in wastewater, you are basically having this large volume of water that's toxic, and then you're compressing it to this sludge, which is concentrated toxins, and then trying to transport it, and you put it to the earth. And so plastics or anything like that, that are microplastics, you burn the ground and you have some chemicals in there. And then if you go back a few years, well, the toxins are gone, but it went to the food chain. It went to the food chain, and then you feed it to babies, and then that's just wrong. That's just wrong. You have all these hydrocarbon toxins and all stuff. So it could be chemicals from estrogen, antibiotics, pesticides, all those. Then you put it to the ground because it's sludge, and then you plant crops on it, and then you raise these crops, potatoes, and you feed it to babies, and then the toxins are gone. And then so sooner or later, old people, young people all get cancer. You don't want to do that. So you want to try the system that will eliminate all these toxins. and our system, after the water is treated, we actually encourage people to grow fish in it. So the water is highly used, and after the water is used, growing fish, you can still, with a little more treatment, bring it back to drinking water so that you can drink the water.
So
Yeah.
you have you're saying that there is no sludge, no need of sanitary landfilling, no need of any leachate that can contaminate our soil, our food web, or our subsoil water. So clean water, fish can survive, and it may how goes that your food chain live healthy, right?
Yeah, but again, also we do not believe in. One of the things we can do is we can treat it back to drinking, then recharge the groundwater. So you can recharge the groundwater. If you're wasting 2 million tons of water every day by throwing it into a dirty river, why not just treat it so clean at an affordable price that you can then recharge the water? Um, and so the Anyway, so we think that one, recharging groundwater is very important because you get subsidies. So in many places around the world, like Manila, in Lagos, uh, in Lahore, there is a lot of subsidies. Over here in Fresno, there's also subsidies. There's lost like 8 feet of ground of elevation to the loss of groundwater, right? So they gotta fill it up, and just don't throw it out, and don't use it to irrigate. Don't use badly treated wastewater to irrigate crops. That's just wrong. That's wrong. So you gotta treat it clean, and then show respect for the food. So
Okay, great. So,
yes.
Mr. Eros, what's your message to climate activists right now?
Okay. So climate change is like this. There has been about 4.5. The Earth has been around for 4.5 billion years, and out of that 4.5 billion years, there's always been climate change. It was initially too hot, and then it became too cold, right? And then there's a lot of stuff, and so you have several ice ages already. The Earth went from Rodina to Pangea, and now there's like 7 continents. And it'll again come back one day, and there'll be another single land mass again. And so people understand hot and cold happens all the time. So like the Sahara used to be jungle, and then it just climate change happened and all that stuff. What we're saying is being good stewards of the earth. Don't be afraid of fossil fuels. So fossil fuels are created by bacteria, uh, and it is actually God given. So I have a spiritual answer to those things: is that God created petroleum. It couldn't be bad. And so the earth is supposed to be enjoyed for man, not the other way around. Why kill humans when we're supposed to be the one to be stewards of the earth? Why limit our families? Why do a lot of young people decided not to have children because they think they're killing the earth? That is untrue. You see, there's this great cosmos, right? Hundreds of billions of galaxies, and in these galaxies, hundreds of billions of stars, and so on and so forth. And you're telling me that we're supposed to stay in this tiny little dot in this cosmos. So what's the rest out there for? Is that waste? Or is it that we humans are staying in this seed called the earth? This Mother Earth is the seed. And isn't it maybe our mission in life is to get so much more, have enough surplus, so that man can
Mr.
go
Eros,
and populate the stars?
we are running the short of time. Thank you very much
Yes.
of your views, and we wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, a very good day ahead. We shall call you again in our time, in our first.
Thank you. And I have one last message.
Sure.
Go and have lots of children. To all the young people in the world, go have lots and lots of children. It'll be okay. The world has enough resources to feed easily with present technology. easily 40 billion people. So don't worry about it. Okay.
Thank you
Bye
very
bye.
much. Thank you, Eros.
Thank you.
Bye bye.